Hi everyone, and thank you for being there. This video has been put together by Etel here at Blossom CPA, and we wanted to share with you our 7 tips for designers, architects, and contractors for a successful year end. So tip number 1 is about your deposits or the deposits that you have received. So many times how you work is that you take a deposit before at the onset of a project, and these deposits are not revenue until you complete the project. So make sure that you identify those funds received as deposits for your accounting professional so that they're booked as a liability, meaning that you owe the client for the project to be completed before you can recognize these funds as revenue. Tip number 2, let's look at our accounts receivables and identify those invoices that may not be collectible. Why this is important is because they would be inflating your sales number, and they need to be booked as bad debt expense in your financials. So you need to communicate this to your accounting professional. Tip number 3, let's go to the other side of the profit and loss report and look at the expenses. If you are in charge of organizing your expenses, you know that the best way to do that is by categories. Office expenses, meals and entertainment, utilities, telephone, and whatever you cannot find a home for, put them aside as uncategorized expenses and discuss with your accounting professional where they should be, because you should be able to identify a place for them for the future, right? Tip number 4, while you are identifying these purchases and giving it a home, do spot the purchases that may outlive a project. And these ones would be purchases such as computers, cameras, equipment. And the reason why we do that is because they live in a different place of your financials. They live as assets. Assets are things that give value to your business and that they lose value over time. So they do not get booked as expenses, all right? So you need to identify those for your accounting professional to do his or her job properly. Tip number 5, while you are doing that, you also should know how much money you have taken from the business as personal use or for personal use. Why is that important? Because, and we're talking about monies that you take out of the business that go above and beyond your payroll and your bonus and dividends. The reason why you need to identify this is because they live in a different place in your financials, and by your business being a separate entity from you, they need to there is an exchange between 2 entities that need to be recognized in your financials, okay? Tip number 6, related kind of to this same topic, is the use of business cards or business accounts for personal expenses. You need to also identify this for your accounting professional. And another reason besides what I just mentioned above with withdrawing funds is about your GST/HST registration and your filing. So if you are a GST/HST registrant, then if these expenses were not identified as personal and the accounting professional has applied the credits of that HST, what we're doing is we are, without knowing, we are filing the wrong HST amounts, and should you be audited, your credit will be reversed and you would be penalized for that. So this is another reason why we need to have a clear understanding of what is a true business expense versus a personal expense. Okay, and then tip number 7, once we have a full picture of all of this, what you're gonna get back is financial statements that tell you where the business was at in terms of profit for that period, for that fiscal year, and also a picture, a snapshot at the end of that business year that will tell us all the balances of all the accounts, your bank accounts, liabilities, credit cards, loans, and the equity balance, what the business is worth. This is a great opportunity for you to talk with your accounting professional on what your plans and your goals are for the following year. And I would add to tip number 7 an extra tip, which is about the apps that you're using to run your business, for your daily operations. So should you choose to go with an app that is industry specific, make sure that this app not only satisfies those operational components, but that it also syncs with an accounting software, because it will make all the other points that I've discussed in this presentation so much easier to handle if you have a sync with your accounting software. You no longer have to wait for year end to get sorted out, to know whether you made money or not, to know where your balances are at. This is why it's important to consider that. And if your business is at that stage where you could just work off the accounting softwares that are online, like Xero and QuickBooks Online, they both have project capabilities now, which, yes, there are some limitations. However, they may be good enough for where your business is at, and they will simplify your year-end procedures coming next year. And there's a lot more to talk about that in terms of that. So I will leave it at that for now. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is Satel, Blossom CPA, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.